John here. So in this video I want to cover this lick. So this lick is another example of why I think working on hybrid picking is important. You can play this lick without hybrid picking, but I think it will be way harder. And obviously, if you're new to hybrid picking, this lick might look very difficult. But I think once you start getting into the actual technique of hybrid picking, it's not that hard. It looks way harder than it actually is. So feel free to try it with picking first, if that's sort of the thing that you're most used to. But if you want to learn more about hybrid picking, I have a whole playlist here on my channel where I go through some things to think about. And I'm just going to show some things today as well, just some basic stuff that can be really helpful when you learn this technique. So it's C minor pentatonic. This shape, so shape number 1. So I'm just going to show you the notes of the sequence, you understand that, and then I can show you how I use hybrid picking. So we have 2 sequences basically. We have one ascending one and one descending one. So the ascending sequence is a 10-note sequence. So you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you do that on each string group. Until you get to that point. As usual, I have the tabs available on my Patreon, and if you check the tabs out, you'll see M and A over certain notes. And that means the M finger is this finger, and A is this finger. And it's basically the notation that comes from classical guitar, where you would have P, I, M, A, C. But since we're using the thumb and the index finger, when you do hybrid picking, you will only see MAC, so Mac, very easy to remember. So if you're wondering what those little notational marks above the notes are, that's what it is. All right, so the way that I hybrid pick this then, initially you don't really need hybrid picking here, since you have so much time, since you have a hammered note in between. So, but I use it anyway because I find it easier as well to get a more consistent tone that way. So I go up that far. So down, hammer, M, hammer, A, hammer, pull off, and then sets me up to hit this note with a downstroke, and then I'm used the M finger to go back, and then downstroke again, and then a pull off to start the next sequence. So it's quite effortless once you get into it. And just practicing that much can be a good exercise. And then you continue on like that. So same picking pattern. And from here, the sequence that I use going down goes like this, if I would just play it sort of separated from everything. So it's a more of a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4-note sequence, right? So this one is a good one to work on anyway. Whoops. So whenever you have a hammered note or a pull-off note in between, you have so much time so you can pick it using pretty much any pick stroke or finger. So start with whatever you want, basically. So down, in this case, pull off, down on the next string, and then I go back with the M finger. So that's the sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I just restart that on each string group. I think this is where the hybrid picking really shines, because you don't need to do that, which is perfectly doable, but I think you need more momentum in the right hand to be able to do that smoothly, and it's, for me at least, it's hard to get the dynamics right, or being able to control the dynamics. And the reason why it's easier to control the dynamics with the hybrid picking is because you ideally want to prepare the finger on the string before you play it. So that's a way to practice it as well. So if we just take the D and G string, for example, so when I do this exercise, I know riveting stuff, right? But it's a really good exercise. And this all comes from classical guitar. And they use a lot of different planting techniques. And planting just means that you prepare whatever finger you're gonna play before you're gonna play it. So in this case, I'm gonna prepare the pick. So I'm on the D string, I play the D string, and exactly as I strike the D string, I prepare the next note, which is a G string, which I prepare with my middle finger here. And then I play the middle finger, and then I prepare the pick again. And the reason why it's good to do this with open strings initially is because you can hear if you have an overlap. You're gonna have a tiny bit of overlap, but you shouldn't have much, right? So if you have this, then you know that you're probably not doing it correctly. So, and don't do it quickly either. Just sit like this and try to really find a relaxed way of doing it. That's probably one of the most important things here to get used to the technique, because it can feel really, really awkward at first. And where I strike the string here is basically, so I have a bit of a nail here, but not a lot, and the string sort of sits here, so it touches the side of the nail and the fingertip at the same time. So when I strike the string, I get both sort of the meaty sound of the low end sound of the fingertip, but also some high end by getting a little bit of nail in there. So you're not only using a nail or anything like that. And I know some great hybrid pickers like Marshall Harrison, for example, who's amazing. He doesn't have any fingernails at all to do this. He says, you know, when you do it enough, you get sort of calluses on your fingertips, and then you get enough high end anyway. So you don't need to have any kind of longer nails. So, but this is a very good basic exercise to do. Perfect to do in front of the TV. Just, you know, do it super slow, super relaxed. Just making sure you don't get that overlap and that you're planting the whole time. All right, so that's the really good fundamental exercise that can be practiced pretty much at any level you're at, because you can always get better at this stuff. All right, so back to the actual lick then. So we got up to here. So this is kind of a blur here where you know, where does this first sequence end and the second sequence start? It kind of doesn't matter. So I see it as I'm starting a new sequence here. And if we put it all together, so that's the lick, and also my introduction to hybrid picking for you. So give this a try with your normal picking as well, and then try it with hybrid picking. And I think you can see, you know, with that string crossing thing, that it's gonna be easier in the long run. So if you're interested in this stuff, I have a whole playlist that I'm gonna link at the end of this video, so you can dive deeper into it. It's a very, very useful technique. And for some reason, whenever I do hybrid pick videos, they perform quite poorly compared to other videos on my channel. But I don't really care about that, because I want to give you guys the best information I have and really get you to learn things that I think are important, or at least try them out and see if it works for you. So with that said, good luck with this one, and see you in the next one. Back in the day, I used to have real issues with fast alternate picking when it came to 2 notes per string. I was fine with 3 notes per string, but the 2 notes per string thing was a bit harder to crack. So if you struggle with fast alternate picking as well, and you don't know what to practice or for how long, I've created the perfect solution for you in the form of the Pentatonic Picking Power Book. So in this book, you'll find a daily workout that will not only help your pentatonic picking, but will also upgrade your overall alternate picking technique. So it contains basically the same exercises I use myself to develop my picking abilities, as well as numerous students over the years that I've given the same exercise to with great results. So I know these exercises work as long as you put in the work. So it's not a quick solution or quick fix. It will still take a lot of work, but at least you have a very easy to follow routine. So if you're up for a big alternate picking upgrade in 2024, I cannot think of a better start. It's $9 and I think it's very underpriced, but I did it that way just so as many people as possible could be helped by this. So check that out.